people. Who would disagree on a day like this? Ashwani Kumar, former Congress leader, he too has left the party. Mr. Kumar, you're from Punjab. AAP, historic victory. There's much talk that you may be joining the AAP soon. But either way, will you tell us today, I told you so?
Well, of course I'm going to tell you I told you so. I've said it on every single channel that AAP was a tsunami waiting to hit Punjab. But there were people who were blind and there were people who were deaf, who would just not look or hear. And I said so.
Who are
on
these
the
people?
basis of a very intensive engagement in Punjab. Well, there were people in all political formations who just didn't believe what was going to come. And I think what has happened now, the larger political message of the victory of AAP in Punjab is that a new national political narrative is in the offing, in which parties like AAP and TMC will have a predominant role, and the Congress party, and I hate to say so, and I say so with some sadness, would be relegated to the margins even as one of the actors in the national alternative narrative which is being scripted right now.
No, you're making a huge point. You're saying that TMC and Congress, TMC and AAP will take over the Congress's space?
Well, of course they will, and they have taken over. And I'm now trying to tell you another thing. The return of BJP in UP also demonstrates that BJP is and will for some years remain the dominant pole in India's politics. So therefore there will be two poles, one led by BJP and the other led by a national alternative, a new alternative, in which AAP and TMC and regional parties will have a very predominant role. And that is being scripted right now.
No, but Ashwani ji, when you come to, it's the day that you decided to leave the Congress that we invited you to join us at the Panchayat that we were doing at that time on the Punjab elections. And you said that because the Congress has its strategy wrong that you're leaving, and you predicted that AAP would win, which is what's happened. But many in the Congress, very senior leaders called me after that and said Ashwani is doing this for selfish reasons. He's doing it because he wanted a ticket for his son. He doesn't have the larger interest of the Congress because we didn't give him a ticket for his son.
Could you, hello?
Yeah, I hear you well, sir.
Hello?
I hear you.
Hello?
We hear you fine. Okay, we'll get Ashwani Kumar back. But this is the challenge, that you've got the old guard upset very clearly, but the people close to Rahul Gandhi say they're upset for personal reasons, not because they have an ideological problem with what's happening, but because of their personal self-interest.
That's not entirely wrong. Let's be honest. There are many leaders who got a lot of benefits, went to Rajya Sabha and got other benefits from the Congress. They're not mass leaders. They would struggle to win an election on their own. So there is a point in that. However, if you want to combat such leaders, you have to prove that you can win elections for the party. If you can't win, how do you earn respect? You see, you can gain a position, but you can't earn respect. In a party like the Congress, which is a vote-catching machine, you will only earn respect when you can show that you can win elections. The problem the Gandhis are facing at the moment is a lack of legitimacy at one level because they don't win enough elections for the Congress party. Yes.
Can I make a point on this? We have been seeing this since 2014, that the Congress leadership at the national level is unable to win the party key elections. Have they groomed state-level credible leaders to be able to make up for that? No. So in such a situation, how would you expect the Congress to be able to recover from the losses that they are facing?
But are they even fighting? You win an election in stage 2. Are you even fighting like your life depends on it? The Congress had an opportunity in Uttarakhand. They had an opportunity in Goa. They were the incumbent in Punjab. How seriously did the Congress fight that battle in comparison to the state like UP, where they have long-term hopes, but in the short term they had very little opportunity? Therefore, and Ashwani Kumar, I was just asking you about that interview that we did with you earlier. It went viral, was buzzing on people's phones, and people called me to say, you should have asked him that he's being selfish. He wanted a ticket for his son. We didn't give him that, which is why he's left. He's not got an ideological problem with him. The whole lot, just not just you, but everyone else who's leaving is doing so for selfish reasons. That's what the Rahul Gandhi camp thinks.
Well, could you have expected anything better from some of these people? And I know who you are referring to, and I will not name the gentleman. But when I was not given the Rajya Sabha seat in 2016, did I then leave the party? When I was asked to resign from the cabinet in 2014, did I then resign from the party? I have stood with the party through thick and thin, and denial of seat here and there can hardly be a reason for my leaving after 46 years of loyal and dedicated commitment to the party. But today I saw that the party was downhill, not only in terms of its moorings, but in terms of its willingness to learn. That is why I said they were deaf and dumb to the realities in Punjab. And at the end of the day, every political person, every public man has to be true to one's own sense of dignity and conscience, and also to the welfare of the people he represents. Punjab and Congress were poles apart. People were fed up of this circus that was shown over the last three months on every TV channel, including yours. At that point of time, it was a question of one's own credibility, and I could see it coming, and it is not that I didn't want the leadership. I kept telling them that things are not looking good. So therefore, everybody does politics for some kind of an opportunity. So what is wrong with that? And
so you're saying that AAP and Trinamool will take the space of the Congress? What do you see as being a possible solution? Do you think that if the Gandhi family were to make way, a new Congress could emerge? Or do you think that's almost impossible because many congressmen don't see it like that?
Well, I have never made personal comments, and I don't want to. I have great regard for Mrs. Sonia Gandhi, but quite clearly the writing is on the wall. The Gandhis are not delivering election results for the Congress, and Congress is known never to follow somebody who cannot deliver victories for them. You cannot claim leadership by will or by acclamation. You have to claim leadership by performance. And we have seen over the last several years, Congress is downhill. When we came to 52 from 44 in Lok Sabha, we applauded it as an achievement. What a shame for a party of 136 years. And now I only sincerely hope, in the best interest of the image of the Gandhi family, that they accept in humility the verdict and say, we've got it wrong. I hope they do that. They might redeem themselves a bit.
But do they ever do that? Do they ever take responsibility? It's almost by entitlement.
Well, they don't. They don't.
The tragedy of the party.
They don't. That is why.
It's not just the Congress. As I said, there are these defeat-proof netas. Imagine Akhilesh Yadav will have lost 4 consecutive elections. Mayawati will have lost 5 consecutive elections.
You can't compare. No,
Rahul Gandhi, just a minute. Rahul Gandhi
has
lost
a battle. He's turned it into a bipolar election.
Whatever it is.
In the next election, he may still have a chance if Yogi doesn't do well.